Hi, it's Chester Tugwell at Blue Pecan Computer Training. In this video, we're going to look at the new sequence function that is available in the beta version of Excel and should be available to us all in 2019. So I just want to explain what the sequence function actually does and then kind of involve it in a bit of a solution later on. So first of all, the sequence function is made up of three arguments. You've got rows, columns, start and step. Now the rows argument, so basically I've linked these arguments to all these cells, as you can see here. So if I said I wanted one row and then I wanted 5 columns, the first number, well, it would give me 5 zeros to begin with. First number I'd say is 4 and the increment is 5. So you can see what it's doing. Started with 4, incremented by 5. One row across, one row with 5 columns. If I change that to 3 rows, it will give me 3 rows, etc., etc. So that's how it kind of works. So initially, it's hard to see how that might be useful. But let's take an example over here. What I've got is a table of sales for each branch and each month across 4 years, 2015, 2016, 17, 18. Now what I've got to do is when I choose a branch here and a month here, what it's going to do is calculate the average sales for those months, so 4 Junes across the 4 years for this particular branch. Okay, so what I've got to get the sequence function to help me to do is to pick out the correct values for a particular branch. So if I chose Aberdeen on my list and I said January, then it's got to pick out the 4 Januaries in my list, which you can see have been coloured here with a bit of conditional formatting, and then find the average of those values. So how are we going to do this? I've already got my function here and we're going to kind of take this apart and see how it works. So first of all, let's start with the sequence function. So I basically want one row of figures here, and because there's 4 years, I want 4 columns. Now the start position will be dependent on which month is displayed here. If it's January, I want to start position 1. If it's February, I'd want to start in position 2. Now to ascertain the position of January in this list of months, I could use the match function. The match function returns the position of a value in an array of values. So I could say my lookup value would be January, my lookup array would be this row of months. Control backspace to get back to my formula. Comma, match type, well I'm doing an exact match, so that's 0. So you can see that if I just F9 this, it's returning not a lot, because I've missed out the M there. If I F9 that, you can see it's returning 1 because January is the first month. Just undo that. So that's my start position, and my step, well, there's 12 months in a year, so the step's got to be 12. So if I press enter, what it's done is returned 4 numbers with an increment of 12. So it's going to return values from column 1, 13, 25 and 37, which is the position of all the Januaries in my table. Okay, so that's fair enough. Now what I want to do though is return the values in those columns rather than just the position of those columns. Now this is where I can use the index function. Now you may not have used the index function before, but basically with the index function we're using the array version of the index function. The array is all the possible values you may want to return, so that is all these values. AF6 to CF36, that's my array. Then what you can do is say which value you want to return within that array, and you have a row number and a column number. Now the row number is going to be ascertained by whatever I select in this cell. So Aberdeen has a position 1. Now I can use match to get that position again. So there's my lookup value, comma, and I'm looking it up in this array of branches. Control Shift down arrow key, Control backspace to go back to my formula, comma, and my match type again is exact match, so that's a 0. Okay, comma. Now the column number, well, column numbers for me in this scenario, that has, we already know that's returned by our sequence function. So if I press enter, what it now does is return the values rather than just the column numbers. It actually spills the values out into adjacent cells, because there are 4 values, 4 occurrences of January. I get 4 answers. So if we look, 1500, 1244, 796, 1069, and that's what I have here, 1244. You see there the coloured cell, 769, 1069. So that's exactly what it's doing. Normally the index function just returns one of those values, the way I've written this formula anyway, but here it's returning 4 of the values. So what I can then do is just find the average of the values that the index function is returning, and press enter, and there we are. I have my answer. Control Shift 4 to apply currency format. So now if I change this to, say, Belfast, and this to April, it says 645, and you can see apparently those 4 figures average out to 645. Okay, so there's an interesting way of using the sequence function in conjunction with match and index to return the average. Okay, thanks very much for listening. It's been Chester Tugwell at Blue Pecan Computer Training.